Welcome back to Crafting Made Simple. It's starting to feel a lot like Christmas.
Yeah.
So we're going to dive into some fun ways to maybe spread some holiday cheer at the office.
Okay.
We're talking all about Elf on the Shelf today.
Yeah.
And some seriously creative ideas for office antics.
All right.
All thanks to a blog post from Paperflow Designs.
Well, what's so interesting is how this simple tradition has taken on such a life of its own, you know?
Yeah.
We'll also be looking at the story behind the Elf on the Shelf,
Okay.
exploring how it went from a family tradition
Right.
to a global phenomenon.
And we have that fantastic YouTube interview with Chanda Bell,
Yes.
the code creator.
Oh, wow.
I'm really curious to hear about her journey.
Yeah.
And maybe even glean some entrepreneurial tips from her.
Right.
You know, seeing how she turned this fun idea into a massive success.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a lot we can learn from her story.
For sure.
It's a great example of recognizing a good idea,
Mm-hmm.
persevering through challenges,
Yeah.
and ultimately building something truly special. It's really special.
So let's start with those office elf antics.
Okay.
Paperflow Designs has this blog post, 10 hilarious elf on the shelf ideas for the office.
Okay.
And some of these scenarios are just too good.
Right.
Like, picture this.
Mm.
You walk into the office on Monday morning,
Okay.
and there's the elf sitting at the copier,
Uh-huh.
making copies of himself.
Ah. Oh, that's good.
Oh my God.
I know.
I love it.
So good.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant way to inject some humor into the workday.
Right.
It's about creating those unexpected moments of surprise and laughter.
Total.
You know, building a sense of community within the office.
And I love that it's not just about making people laugh,
Right.
but these little setups can actually spark creativity.
Oh, yeah.
And get people thinking outside the box.
Oh,
like
yeah.
one of the ideas is having the elf setting up a mini spa day at his desk,
Right.
complete with cucumber slices on his eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, who wouldn't smile at that?
Right.
It's so cute. Oh, that's adorable.
I know.
It's a reminder to not take ourselves too seriously.
Right.
To find those moments of lightheartedness, even in a professional setting.
Yes.
And it plays on the element of surprise,
Yeah.
which is such a key part of the Elf on the Shelf tradition.
Absolutely.
You know, you never know where he's going to pop up.
Exactly.
What he's going to be doing.
Exactly. And the blog post even has some scenarios that are perfect for playing on those like common office tropes.
Okay.
Like the elf caught raiding the snack drawer.
Okay, yeah.
Or the elf ice skating in the bathroom sink.
Oh, that's funny.
We know. With one elf taking tumble through the ice.
Oh, no.
It's all in good fun.
I love that.
And I bet it would lead to some great water cooler conversations at the office.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a simple way to tap into that shared experience.
Right.
Creating those little moments of connection.
Yes.
That can make the workday a bit more enjoyable.
Totally.
And what I find interesting is how these setups, while simple.
Yeah. They often require a bit of creativity and resourcefulness.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
you're not just buying a pre-made prop.
Right.
You're using everyday items
Yeah.
to create these whimsical scenes.
It's true.
I think that's really cool.
It's so true. It's like a mini crafting challenge,
Yes,
which ties in perfectly with the DIY spirit of our show.
exactly.
Yeah.
And that same DIY spirit
Yes.
is at the heart of Chanda Bell's story.
Okay.
You know?
Yes.
She didn't start with a huge budget
Right.
or a team of experts.
Yeah.
It was a family affair,
Right.
fueled by passion and a belief in their idea.
Okay. So let's dive into that YouTube interview with Chanda Bell.
Okay.
I'm fascinated by how this simple idea,
Yes.
born from a family tradition,
Right.
became such a massive success.
Well, one of the things that struck me was her perseverance.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
She faced a lot of rejections
Oh, wow.
when she was trying to get her book published.
Really?
But she didn't give up.
She knew she had something special.
That's so inspiring.
Is.
It's a reminder that sometimes
Yeah.
you have to forge your own path and trust your instincts,
Right.
even when others doubt you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Chanda Bell's background as a teacher played a significant role in her approach.
Interesting.
She understood the power of storytelling,
Yeah.
the importance of creating something that would engage children's imaginations.
And it's not just about entertainment, right?
Right.
The elf on the shelf encourages children to think about others,
Yes.
to embody those values of kindness and generosity.
Exactly.
There's the elf who is a toy maker,
Mm-hmm.
encouraging kids to give away a toy
Yeah.
before receiving new ones.
Right.
Or the cobbler elf reminding kids to donate clothes they no longer wear.
Ah.
It's a subtle but powerful message
Yeah.
about the importance of giving back gathers.
Exactly. It's about weaving those values into the fabric of the tradition.
Yeah.
And it's something that resonates with families, that sense that the elf on the shelf is more than just a toy. You know,
Yeah.
it's a way to create lasting memories,
Yes.
to build traditions that center around family and togetherness.
And that sense of family is so evident in Chanda Bell's story.
It is.
You know,
Yeah.
they turned their family tradition into a business,
Right.
and it seems like they've managed to maintain that close-knit feel,
Yeah.
even as the company has grown.
Well, one thing she emphasizes is the importance of building a strong team.
Mm-hmm.
People who share your vision and your passion.
Right.
And she talks about the early days, how friends and family rallied around them,
Ah.
helping with book signings,
Yeah.
spreading the word,
Right.
really becoming a part of the journey.
That's so cool.
It is.
It really highlights the power of community,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
of having a support system
Mm-hmm.
when you're trying to build something new.
It does.
It's like that old saying, it takes a village.
It really does.
Yeah.
And that sense of community extends beyond their internal team.
Okay.
The Elf on the Shelf has a huge following online,
Wow.
with families sharing their elf adventures,
Yo.
their creative setups,
Mhm.
their kids' reactions.
Right.
It's become this interactive experience, a
Mhm.
way for people to connect and share their love for the tradition.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
And it makes me think back to those office elf antics,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's not just about the elf itself.
Right.
It's about the conversations that it sparks,
Mhm.
the shared laughter,
Yeah.
the creative energy that it brings to the workplace.
Right.
It's about building those connections, even in a seemingly mundane setting like the office.
Precisely. And it speaks to the broader appeal of the Elf on the Shelf.
Yeah.
It's not just a toy or a book.
Right.
It's an invitation to create,
Mm,
to imagine,
Yeah.
to connect with others.
I love that.
Yeah.
And speaking of creating, let's talk about the entrepreneurial side of this.
Yeah.
The blog post from Paperflow Designs also touches on how you can turn your office elf crafts
All right.
into marketable creations.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is where Chanda Bell's journey becomes even more relevant.
Okay.
You know, she saw the potential in something so simple
Yeah.
and turned it into a global phenomenon.
Right.
And she encourages others to do the same,
Yeah.
to tap into their own creativity and entrepreneurial spirit.
So what are some of the key takeaways from her story for aspiring entrepreneurs?
Well, first and foremost, it's about believing in your idea, even when others might not.
Right.
It's about being willing to take risks,
Yeah.
to step outside your comfort zone
Right.
and pursue your passion.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
So,
Yeah.
you know, just go for it.
Go for it.
Take the leap.
Take the leap.
I love it.
It's scary,
But yeah, it can be scary.
but it's also exhilarating,
It is.
you know?
Yes, it is. And I feel like she really embodies that leap in the net will appear philosophy.
does. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's not just about having a great idea, but it's about executing it right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Chanda Bell talks about the importance of being resourceful, especially in the early stages, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
She and her family used credit cards,
Wow.
a small 401k loan,
Okay.
and support from family
Right.
to fund that initial investment.
Yeah.
It shows that you don't always need a ton of capital to get started.
Right.
Sometimes it's about creative problem solving
Yeah.
and making the most of what you have.
That's so encouraging to hear.
Yeah, it is.
It makes me wonder, what were some of those early challenges she faced
Mhm.
aside from the funding?
Well, one of the biggest hurdles was finding a manufacturer who could produce the elf dolls to their specifications.
Oh, really?
You know, they
Interesting.
had a very specific vision for
Yeah.
how they wanted the elves to look and feel.
Right.
And it took a lot of trial and error
Wow.
to find the right partner.
I can imagine. Those early decisions, like finding the right manufacturer,
Yeah,
could really make or break a business.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then there's the challenge of building brand awareness.
Right.
In the beginning, no one knew what the elf on the shelf was.
Right.
You know, Chanda Bell talks about doing countless book signings, attending local events,
Yeah.
really pounding the pavement
Yeah.
to get the word out.
It's a great reminder that even the most successful businesses start small,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
They do.
It's about putting in the hard work,
Right.
building those connections,
Yeah,
and slowly but surely gaining momentum.
exactly. And they didn't shy away from leveraging the power of community.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know,
Yeah.
they encouraged families to share their elf adventures online,
Right.
creating a sense of excitement and engagement
Yeah.
around the tradition.
That's so smart.
It is.
They essentially turned their customers into brand ambassadors.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's something that continues to this day. If you look at their social media,
Yeah.
it's full of user-generated content.
Right.
Families showcasing their elf creations,
Yeah.
sharing their kids' reactions.
Right.
It's a great example of how to build a strong online community
Right.
and create that buzz around your product.
And it ties in beautifully with those office elf antics we were talking about.
It does,
You know,
yeah.
it's about fostering that sense of playfulness,
Mm-hmm.
that shared experience,
Right.
whether it's in the workplace or at home.
It's about creating those moments of joy and connection.
Yes.
And I think that's a big part of why the elf on the shelf has resonated with so many people.
Totally.
It taps into that childlike sense of wonder,
Yeah.
that belief in magic.
Mm.
And it allows families to create their own traditions,
Right.
their own unique elf stories.
And those stories become part of the family history,
Exactly.
passed down from generation to generation.
It's like building a collection of inside jokes and memories that are unique to each family.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
And it encourages creativity.
Yeah.
Not just in the storytelling, but also in the physical setups.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
The blog post from Paper Slow Designs is full of ideas for office elf antics that are essentially mini crafting projects.
Mm-hmm.
You can use everyday office supplies
Yeah.
like toilet paper rolls and washi tape
Yeah.
to create these whimsical scenes.
It's about using your imagination and resourcefulness to bring your elf story to life.
I love it.
And it doesn't have to be elaborate or expensive.
Right?
Sometimes the simplest ideas are the most effective.
Like the elf caught napping in a coffee mug.
Oh,
Or the elf hanging from the ceiling fan with paper clips.
I love it.
It's all about having fun with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe those office elf creations could spark a new business venture,
Right.
just like it did for Chondabel.
Okay, so let's loop back to that entrepreneurial spirit.
Okay.
What are some specific tips from the blog post about making those office elf crafts marketable?
Well, first and foremost, they emphasize the importance of high-quality photography,
Okay.
when you're selling crafts online.
Yeah.
Especially something as visually driven as elf-on-the-shelf setups.
Right.
Your photos need to be top-notch.
Right.
Think about good lighting,
Yeah.
clear backgrounds, and capturing the elf from different angles to
Yep.
showcase all the details.
That's such a great point.
Yeah.
And it's not just about the technical aspects of photography,
Right.
but it's about telling a story with your images, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You want to create a sense of whimsy and personality.
Yeah.
Capture the elf's mischievous spirit and make people smile.
Right.
Think about using props and backdrops
Yes.
that enhance the story you're trying to tell.
Like a tiny Santa hat or a miniature office desk.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't forget about branding.
Yeah.
Think about a catchy name for your elf creations,
Mm-hmm.
a logo that reflects your style,
Right.
and consistent packaging that reinforces your brand.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's about treating those elf crafts as a legitimate business venture.
It
It's
is.
not just a hobby.
Right. And they also talk about the importance of customization.
Okay.
Offer different elf outfits,
Mhm.
accessories, and even personalized backdrops
Right.
to give customers that unique touch.
That's a great way to stand out in a crowded market.
It is.
Yeah.
And of course, don't underestimate the power of online marketplaces like Etsy,
Yeah.
It's a perfect platform for selling handmade goods, reaching a global audience of potential buyers.
I've always been amazed by the creativity and the entrepreneurial spirit of Etsy sellers.
Oh, it's incredible.
I know, it's so fun
what they do over there.
to browse.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And the blog post also suggests creating DIY kits
Oh, okay.
for those who want to replicate the fun themselves.
Oh, fun. Yeah.
Package up the materials,
Right.
instructions, and maybe even some bonus tips to guide people through the process.
That's a fantastic idea.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a way to share your creativity with others
Yes.
while also tapping into a different revenue stream.
Right.
All right.
And they encourage aspiring entrepreneurs to start small,
Mm-hmm.
test the waters and see what resonates with customers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't be afraid to experiment and iterate along the way.
It's all about that agile approach,
It is. Yeah,
adapting to feedback and constantly learning and improving.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that's something we can all learn from Chondabel's story.
Yeah.
It's about embracing those challenges,
Mm.
being open to new possibilities,
Right.
and never losing sight of that initial spark of passion.
Well said.
Yeah.
And speaking of passion, one thing that really impressed me about Chandabel is her commitment to giving back.
Yes.
Yeah.
The elf on the shelf isn't just about profits,
Right. Yeah.
It's about making a positive impact on the world.
They support a number of charities,
They do.
particularly those that provide basic needs like food,
Yeah.
clothing, and shelter.
It's a reflection of their values,
Right.
a way to use their platform
Yes.
to make a difference in the lives of others.
And it ties back to that core message of kindness and generosity.
Exactly.
That's woven into the elf on the shelf tradition.
It is.
It's not just about receiving gifts.
Right.
It's about giving back to those in need.
Exactly.
And it's a beautiful example of how business can be a force for good.
It is.
And it makes their success even more meaningful,
Yeah.
knowing that they're using their influence to create positive change in the world.
Right.
It's definitely inspiring.
It is.
Now, before we wrap up, I have to ask you about something that really stood out to me in that YouTube interview.
Okay.
Chanda Bell described her role as CEO as being Santa's chief storyteller.
Oh, I love that.
I just love that.
That's brilliant.
I know, it's so good.
It perfectly captures the essence of the elf on the shelf.
Well, yeah.
It's about creating a world of wonder and imagination.
Yes.
Weaving stories that capture the magic of Christmas.
Right.
And it highlights the importance of having a clear vision, a
Right.
compelling narrative that guides the company's growth.
And it's not just about creating entertaining stories,
Right.
but it's about instilling values, encouraging kindness, and reminding us of the true spirit of the holidays.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Chanda Bell manages to do this in a way that's both subtle and powerful.
Right.
She's not preachy or overly sentimental.
Yeah.
She simply weaves those messages into the fabric of the tradition,
Yeah.
allowing them to resonate with families on a deeper level.
And she's not afraid to embrace the spiritual aspects of the Christmas story.
Right.
She talks about Santa Claus as a figure who embodies honesty, integrity, and generosity,
Yeah.
qualities that resonate with people of all faiths.
That's a really insightful observation.
Yeah.
It's about finding those universal values that unite us during the holiday season, regardless of our individual beliefs.
And it's about encouraging children to think about others.
Yes.
Yeah, to embody those values of kindness and generosity.
Right.
Yeah.
It's about making those values an integral part of the holiday tradition.
Yeah.
Planting the seeds for a more compassionate and giving world.
Well said.
Yeah.
So as we reflect on the elf on the shelf phenomenon, it's clear that it's more than just a toy or a book.
It is.
Yeah. It's a cultural touchstone that has captured the hearts and imaginations of families around the world.
It has. And it's a reminder that sometimes the simplest ideas, fueled by passion and creativity, can have an extraordinary impact.
I love that.
It's a testament to the power of storytelling.
Yeah.
The importance of staying true to your values. And the potential for business to be a force for good.
And maybe most importantly, it's an invitation to embrace the magic of the holiday season.
Yes.
To create joyful memories
Yeah.
and lasting traditions
Exactly.
with those we love.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. It's about finding those moments of joy and connection, whether it's through
Yeah.
a silly elf prank,
Right.
a heartfelt family tradition,
Yeah.
or simply taking the time to appreciate the wonder of the holiday season.
And all of that circles back to those office elf antics.
Right?
Yeah.
It's amazing how something as simple as like hiding an elf in a bowl of cereal,
Right?
giving him Cheerio eyes,
Oh my God, I love that.
could bring so much laughter to the workplace.
I know, it's a great way to inject a little fun into the workday.
Yeah.
And it can be so creative.
Yeah.
Like the elf hanging from the ceiling fan with paper clips.
Right.
Or the elf caught raiding the office snack drawer.
Those are great examples.
Yeah.
It's about tapping into that sense of playfulness
Right.
and bringing people together.
Yeah.
And remember, those office elf setups can be fantastic mini crafting projects too.
Which brings us right back to the heart of Crafting Made Simple.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about finding those creative outlets,
Right.
whether it's through elf antics, DIY projects,
Yeah.
or any other form of crafting.
Right.
And who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe those office elf creations could inspire a new business venture.
Yeah.
Just like it did for Chanda Bell.
It's inspiring to think about.
It is.
It all started with this simple family tradition.
Yeah, a simple family tradition that brought so much joy
Yeah.
to so many people.
Yeah. And I think that's what's so powerful about this whole story,
It is.
is that it's a powerful reminder that we all have the potential to create something special.
Yes, we do.
We just need to tap into our creativity,
Mm.
believe in our ideas, and be willing to put in the work.
That's it.
Yeah. And remember, even small acts of creativity
Yes,
can bring joy to others.
it can.
Yeah.
Those little moments of laughter and connection.
I think
Right.
can make a real difference.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of the elf on the shelf,
Yes.
I'm left with this thought.
Okay.
It's not just about the elf.
Right?
It's about the stories we create, the
Mhm.
traditions we build,
Yeah.
and the joy we share with others.
Beautifully said. And it reminds us to tap into our own inner child,
Yeah.
to embrace the power of playfulness and imagination.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. Even as we navigate the adult world.
Absolutely. We could all use a little more of that childlike wonder in our lives.
For sure.
So, to our listeners, we encourage you to get creative this holiday season.
Yeah.
Whether it's with office elf antics,
Mhm.
family traditions, or any other form of crafting.
Right?
Find those moments of joy and share them with others.
Great advice, and we'd love to hear from you.
Yes.
What are some of your favorite elf on the shelf traditions?
Yeah.
Have you ever tried bringing the elf to the office?
Right.
Share your stories and photos with us on social media.
We'd love to see them.
Until next time, keep crafting and keep spreading that holiday cheer.